Wendy is in the Christmas spirit.
I love holiday music. I love it. All right. Apparently, we must be on the air.
Yes, I have to alert you every time.
Well, you know how I love my music. So anyway, let's do a toast to the WendeNeen Show. Thank you for watching. I am Wendy, your host.
And I am Brittany, your guest co-host.
Make sure you all remember that. The guest co-host is Brittany. Reason being, we want you to choose who should be the permanent co-host. Or should we just continue to have guest hosts? Or you may just want Brittany, but we'll find out.
And we know that America wants me.
We'll see.
Who would deny this smile?
Well, you got the part so far, so. All right, let's talk a little bit about the music we were just listening to. I am certainly in the holiday spirit. I'm gonna turn this thing back on for a little bit. Reason being, who is that singing? Do you know? Come on now. Surely you know who that is. I'll give you a hint. She was on 2020 last night.
Most people that are 20 plus 20 watch 2020.
They don't.
Not
But
that old yet.
the reason they watched 2020 was because she's on there.
The only guess that I could possibly say is Tony Braxton.
There you have it. The one and only Tony Braxton. Bam.
I mean, I
So-
knew that. I just wanted to have her sweat a little bit.
Speaking of Tony Braxton, what do you think of her little situation? She lost all her money. She's filed bankruptcy twice. Obviously now she says she's doing pretty well. But this woman has made some hits. And they say the record company only gave her like $2,000.
That seems to be the story with a lot of artists that have hits after hit after hit. It's just the path that their career goes. What artist have you known that has gotten to this point in their career and still has a lot of money?
I think there's quite a few of them out there that still has a little bit of money, but she said that she was kind of sort of, and obviously these are not her words, but she was kind of addicted to like plateware,
Tupperware?
just plate settings, things of that nature. I mean, she was into the more the girly things.
Well, everyone has their vice. And
Yeah,
of course, when you
that's
get
true.
money, you indulge.
Yeah, and that's true. So, but anyway, we certainly wish Tony the best. I mean, she appears to be back on her feet now and doing the things that she enjoy and being able to perform. Certainly, there were some health issues that were going on too, but sounds like she's gotten back on track. So let's just hope there's not a bankruptcy number 3. Now, let me tell you a little story about something that happened to me earlier today. I'm not even sure that this is even real, but I'm just going to share it with you all, and you all tell me if you've ever heard of anything like this. I was talking to a friend of mine over the phone, and of course, generations a little bit beyond me, and I had a little scratchy throat, and I mentioned that, and I was told, well, you better hope your palate hasn't dropped.
Otherwise known as a uvula.
Uvula, exactly. So I'm thinking, what the heck are you talking about? A palate?
For those who don't know what a uvula is, it is the gag reflex in the back of your throat.
Okay. So I'm thinking, okay, let me just hear this story out. So they said, well, back some years ago, that happened to them, where their uvula, but we'll just use palate as they called it. Palate fell. So they had to take my hair and grip it in the top and pull it extremely tight with a rubber band so that it will come back up into its place. So I must say to you, I sat and stared just like you're doing right now because I'm in total disbelief. So I was like, okay, exactly. Can you imagine walking around like that and someone having to just grab you by the head? Come on, we gotta get that palate, not the uvula, but that palate. Come on now. we got to get it in place. So I don't know, but that's just one of those moments. I guess we have to say what?
I'll drink to that one.
Definitely. Wrong hand. Can't do a toast with that hand. Yeah, did you hear a click? I didn't either.
As long as there's a contact.
But anyway, let's move on to something else. Now, those of you who don't know, the WendeNeen Show, of course, is about everyday people, and we're everyday people. So we're going to just talk about a few things that go on. Now, one of the things that's really interesting to me is when we talk about untruths, also known as
lies.
Exactly.
And we're not meaning the little white lies, we're meaning the big fat lies.
Yes. So let's just play pretend here. Let's just pretend you met somebody.
Yes, I'm in a club. And
Notice I said let's pretend that she met someone. She didn't catch that. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, I was in a club one day, and I happened to be, sipping on a little Moscato, listening to the music, and I happened to spot someone across the way. Yes, Moscato. Not as young as I look.
We heard you. Did she? Anyway, go ahead.
And I see this gentleman, and when I tell you he was drop dead gorgeous.
Oh my God, not the drop dead.
Yes, drop dead.
Did he have the goatee?
Yes, he did.
Did he have bow legs?
Yes, he did.
Oh my goodness, it's time to
drink to that.
Yes, it is. The bow legs,
a necessity. Have to have them. But what really drew me to him was he had this full head of nice, dark, black hair.
Ooh, I like that too. Was it wavy?
Yes,
oh,
deep waves.
My goodness.
Made me say to myself, if only I could swim.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
I'm loving this story.
Yes.
Go right ahead.
So, we have a few dates, some weeks go by. And one day I decide to go over to his house and we, end up falling asleep. Wake up the next morning and his hair is total white.
Did you say total or totally?
Total white.
She said total. Okay,
yes.
So I assume that means it was covered in white.
No.
Every strand.
Every strand from that root was white.
And how did you feel about that?
I just didn't know what to say.
Speechless.
I was just like
floored.
Did your father come over?
I'll drink to that. That sounds like to me the attraction that we were just talking about, the drop dead gorgeous, disappeared.
Yes, it did.
Do you know what that means? I'm gonna tell you what that means. You hear that? Ooh. Sounds like he might have told you. Well. Ever through. So why tell me, did you? You didn't. Someone saw you. All right, it's time to bring it back in. Bring it back. No, not reel it back. It's time to bring it back. You said it so long ago. Soundbite, can we get the music off? Now the soundbite. I guess we lost our soundbite. The struggle is real. Wish I could have seen it. Alright, I'm sorry. She's just, I don't know, she's just not as live as I am.
I mean, does anyone even know who sang that song? Really?
I'm still hearing it playing in my head.
And we have this playing on an iPod. They have songs that old on iTunes. Really?
Okay. Being that she doesn't understand, the concept here was for you to hear what he said. Which he talked about what?
Lies.
Exactly. That's it. You don't need to know anything else. I'm trying to help your story. You're the one talking about you were now in the bed with his dad.
Hey, it happens. People do switcheroos nowadays. Watch the news. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah, I went there too. Oh, but anyway, I gotta step out for a second. I see someone here in the studio.